Michael C. Hall's title character becoming a father in Dexter is one of the original show's biggest storylines, but the name he chooses for his son essentially sentences Harrison to a doomed existence. While Harrison Morgan isn't a huge part of the original Dexter cast, the character's return in Dexter, New Blood significantly fleshes out his story. Harrison's biggest development when Jack Olcott plays him in the cast of Dexter, New Blood is only relatively unexpected. With a father like Dexter Morgan, it was always possible Olcott's character would follow a similar path. However, Harrison's name also foreshadowed his destiny. Dexter, New Blood subtitle references Harrison's return to the franchise. The 10-episode miniseries revolves around the somewhat predictable twist that Dexter's teenage son now has a dark passenger of his own, and that Harrison has the same urge to kill as his father. Regardless of what Dexter would have named Harrison, his son would likely still have turned out the same, especially given their horrific shared origin of being found in the blood of their respective mothers. That being said, the name given to Harrison made it even clearer that the thirst for murder wasn't going to skip a generation. Dexter Morgan's son's name is derived from Harry's son. Harry Morgan's full name was also Harrison. Harrison is named after Dexter's late adoptive father, Harry Morgan. While Michael C. Hall's character may have intended the title to be an innocent tribute to Harry, the meaning being Harrison's name actually goes much deeper. The name Harrison derives from Harry's son. So, while it may have been a more fitting title for Dexter than it is for his son, it still helps maintain the familial connection. It's easy to forget that Harry Morgan's first name was actually Harrison, as he never used his full name. The character himself never appears in the show's present-day sequences due to passing away before the events of the first episode. His appearances in flashbacks and manifestations as Dexter's conscience/sounding board allow Harry Morgan to haunt the narrative in a way that makes it seem as though he was never a physical character. So, while there are technically two significant Harrisons in Dexter canon, only the son of Hall's character is really relevant when using the full title. Harrison's name foreshadowed he would become like Dexter, not Harry. Dexter is Harry's son, too. Harrison, Jack Olcott, and Dexter, Michael C. Hall, outside in the cold, looking at something in a scene from Dexter, New Blood. While Harry did guide his son away from murdering innocent people and gave Dexter a code to live and kill by, Harry wasn't himself a killer. So Dexter choosing to name his son after Harry may have been an unconscious move that communicated Dexter's desire for Harrison to turn out a little more like Harry and not grow up with serial killer tendencies. Unfortunately, by giving his son a name that's derived from Harry's son, Dexter was all but assuring that Harrison would turn out like Dexter, Harry's actual son, and not like Harrison's late grandfather. While Harrison's age in the original Dexter show made it impossible to tell if he had his own version of his father's dark passenger, his return in New Blood confirmed Dexter's son had the same desire for murder. So, despite Dexter's attempt to steer Harrison more in the direction of Harry, the desperate gambit failed. Ultimately, Harrison's blood-soaked experience as a baby probably did most of the heavy lifting, but his name didn't help either. Will we see Harrison Morgan again? Harrison could easily return in Dexter, Resurrection. Harrison Morgan, Jack Olcott, aiming a gun on Dexter New Blood. The upcoming Dexter, Resurrection will continue the events of Dexter, New Blood, the latter of which was when Harrison last appeared. He survived the events of New Blood, so there's a very real possibility of him coming back for Resurrection. There has been very little information on what the story will be like for Resurrection. However, Michael C. Hall has been confirmed to return as Dexter Morgan, despite being gunned down by his son at the end of New Blood.